Hello, I am Barbara Poli, President of Aniridia Europe, the federation that gathers people with aniridia and their families all over Europe.
Hello, I am Corrado Teofile, President of Aniridia Italy, the association that gathers people with aniridia in Italy. We are here to present the project Looking Out for a School for All, a project funded by the European Union in the framework of the Erasmus Plus program. It is about early educational inclusion for students with low vision.
The project involves 6 partners in 3 countries, Italy, Norway and Spain. The first partner is Red Tree, a company based in Spain specialized in social inclusion for visually impaired people in collaboration with associations in this sector. Then there is ALBA, the Spanish Association of People with Albinism. Small Codes is an Italian company specialized in developing tools for improving the skills of teachers and educators that dealing with visually impaired students. And then there is Aniridia Europe, Aniridia Norway, and Aniridia Italy, 3 associations that represent people with aniridia all over Europe and in their respective countries.
The project has produced 3 main intellectual outputs. The first one is an application for mobile phones, tablets and computers for early visual stimulation of children aged up to 6 years. This output is intended to be used by the parents and educators of these children in order to help and promote the development of their vision. Then the second output is a teacher's handbook to inform and train teachers of early education stages and therefore improve the inclusion of visually impaired children in their classroom. Finally, the third output is a web space, a platform in which all the generated materials are available for everybody, families and teachers, along with information about these rare diseases and how to deal and to collaborate with those who suffer from them. In the following sessions, partners of the projects will present each of these materials and will announce the next steps of the project.
We wish you to enjoy these presentations and we suggest that you share them in your own communities so that as many people as possible can take advantage of this project and of its outputs, so that we make a step forward in social and school inclusion for visually impaired children all over the world. No matter if their visual impairment comes from aniridia or albinism or any other visual impairment. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you.
Everyone, first of all, I would like to thank Aniridia Network and Aniridia Europe for inviting us to participate in this 5th edition of the European Aniridia Conference. We know that this is an important event, so it is a pleasure for us to be able to participate and benefit from this space to show you the School for All project and its results, which we have developed under the Erasmus Plus program together with entities specialized in aniridia and albinism. My name is Jordi. I am a Red Trees employee for the coordination and management of European projects.
And my name is Adrián. I am Red Trees International Officer and Translator.
Red Tree is a social working cooperative comprised of experts in the design and management of projects. We define ourselves as a social economic project which develops its work through 2 areas. On the one hand, we help other social entities to develop the projects, and on the other hand, we have our own social commitment projects. And so this is the area where this project is located. We will talk about the website created for the Erasmus Plus project, Looking Out for a School for All, the information it contains, the available accesses, and the accessibility tools incorporated to make it an inclusive virtual space. For this, my partner Adrian is going to share with you the project website and make a tour to show it.
Okay, so the web page is the main site where you can find all the information about the project we have developed. I will not enter into explaining the project because my partners have done it before. So just know that this website is fully adapted to low vision, and it has only been possible thanks to the cooperation and participation of these expert entities and organizations of beneficiaries. The site is adapted to regulate its contrast, the background color, the text size, etc. And we have also created a low vision tab right here that when you click it, for example, you can change the contrast, you can change the clear background, etc. Sorry, there's a low vision tab which adapts the site to the pre-adapted contrast background, and also you can click to listen to all contents of the text. So regarding the contents that we can find, there are 5 tabs. First of all, we have the inclusive classroom with information of what an inclusive classroom is and what inclusion in the classroom means. This is not clear for everyone, but we think that this explains it pretty well. You have a lot of information if you are interested. Then the second tab is the context, which is the context in which we have framed this project with an analysis of the current situation of low vision and visual disabilities in Europe and in the world, with a lot of data and case studies. There are specific studies in Europe and also more specific ones in each of the partner countries. We have another tab of resources where you can find the real resources created throughout the project, like the course for teachers to train in visual impairment in their classrooms, and also the ICT tool for the inclusion of students with visual impairment. This is what we call the app, this app, which is currently on the finishing steps of development, and you will be able to download it from here. Lastly, we have 2 more tabs, Network and Erasmus+. The first one has links to has an explanation of each partner entity that has collaborated in this project and links to their associations with a lot of information. And the last one is just a lot of information and explanations about the Erasmus Plus program, which is the program that has made possible to develop this project. As we have said, the project app is mostly finished, but we still have to include some links to download the contents, but it's 95% finished. So with this, we hope that the project and the website is truly useful to our objectives and the inclusion of children in preschools. And we just want to thank you for sharing this opportunity with us to share the project and show you our results. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good morning. When the trip sent us the project, we thought it was a great opportunity to realize and study an apply of the active visual stimulation that along the years we have been doing parents and teachers, like to our children and students with visual impact. We all know of the importance of visual stimulation for kids with visual impairments, like people with albinism or aniridia. Even more in these days that new technologies and digital learning systems are being implemented in the educational centers. So for that reason, it's important to start from early age to familiarize with this environment. From the beginning, we have the idea that this application shouldn't be a substitute for the traditional visual stimulation activities, but of course, a complementary activity for the former activities. Establishing an itinerary from 0 to 6 years old was difficult. We made the main objective that the activities should be focused in the visual reinforcement and training for the identification of shapes that will lead the child to learn literacy. These itinerary are planned by achieving objectives, and once achieving, you can go to the next activity. We don't establish exact ages for an activity. Instead, the progress itinerary will mark the objectives accomplished. Each activity has its own configuration panel from which we can establish the parameters and set it for the needs of the child, depending of it has albinism, aniridia, or another type of visual impairments. The objective is to complete the activity with as many different configurations as possible. Black and white, background, different shapes and colors, and different, of course, levels. You can choose. As we said at the beginning, this application shouldn't be the only stimulation activity made. Instead, it should be an exercise to reinforce the ones made outside the new technologies, and never can surpass the 15 minutes application with BSAP, and be always, of course, with a parent or teacher supervision. Thank you very much. I enjoyed the application, and I hope it will be useful for all your members of association. Thank you very much.
Hello, my name is Luca Pietra. I'm one of the developers who contributed to put together the School for All platform for the European Erasmus Plus project. And this presentation is meant to introduce shortly, briefly, the material that goes with the platform, aside from the lectures themselves that are available on the platform. There are a number of PDFs that can be downloaded by the participants, who are intended to be specifically teachers who deal with visually impaired students in the classrooms, and more specifically teachers of the pre-primary education. So children from 0 to 6 years old. And in each of the didactic units in which the course is divided, there's the possibility to download additional material that together forms a handbook for the teacher themselves. Some of this material is distincted between 0 to 3 and 3 to 6 years old teachers. Other is the same for all teachers. I'm going to give a short overview of some of the material available, and keep in mind that within the platform there's plenty of extra resources, links, and suggestions for where to find more information, so that who takes the course has plenty of opportunities to deepen their knowledge if they wish. Now I'm going to shortly share my screen, and we go from general information about albinism and aniridia for those teachers who are really not familiar with the matter at all, up to ways of including digital technologies, digital and communication technologies within the classroom as a means to include the visually impaired students and to help them mingle with their peers. There's a number of checklists or lists that the teachers have available for them to keep track of the progress and to keep track of the changes that they may want to introduce in their classrooms, both in terms of architecture itself of the classroom, changes to the curriculum, and additional tools that they may want to use in order to include, better include the visually impaired students. So there's examples of how material should be presented to the children. And a suggestion for curricular adaptations to be proposed to the school where the teacher works, in order for the school itself to introduce to embrace a new way to approach the teaching process. So all these and more of, that I just showed is the material that is available for teachers to download from the platform. I believe there will be another intervention by my colleagues to illustrate the platform itself. We hope that this work was useful and can in the future be useful to as many teachers as possible to help them in their daily work. And hopefully it can be useful for the children as well. Thank you for your attention. Goodbye.
My name is Sølvi Ørstenvik, and I come from Aniridia, Norway. Aniridia, Norway has been a part of the Looking Out for a School for All project. And now we are about to become also a part of the new project, which is called Seeing the Invisible. I'm going to tell you a little bit about this project. The digital development has been enormous the last 20 years and has for many people become a natural part of a daily living. The COVID-19 pandemic has brought us all into a new virtual daily life, much faster than we even could imagine just a couple of years ago. Our daily life is in fact being more and more involved in virtual solutions. Especially have all students experienced the vast development the last years, both whether they have been able to visit their school physically or whether they had to join a virtual classroom. The process of digitalization has to be inclusive and accessible for all students. And this is especially important for those students who has a low vision. Teachers must be provided with the necessary innovative tools and training to achieve it, or else this development will be a great risk for students with low vision if carried out incorrectly. The success we have experienced with the cooperation in the Looking Out for a School for All project has shown us the importance of being together and develop new solutions. That makes it possible to include students with low vision. This is why we propose the creation of 3 innovative, autonomous, and highly impactful intellectual outputs that will provide teachers with the tools and knowledge needed to include visually impaired students in their virtual school day. The first output is a digital educational platform for smartphones or tablets. It is an e-learning platform especially designed for these devices. This will allow teachers to develop digital didactic units of any subject and teach them directly through these devices. And students, they will be able to access their teachers' digital didactic units in what we would call a virtual classroom. Integrated in the app, this educational environment will include a didactic unit with guidelines and models to follow, so teachers easily can create their own didactic unit in this app. This educational tool will also integrate a service of advice so that teachers can make contact with experts for advices, or they can communicate together and share files in the platform. The second output is a virtual training course for teachers. We want to design an online course for teachers, including the quick guidelines to learn to adapt their lessons to students with low vision. The third output is an open educational resource. Digital and inclusive adapted educational materials specifically aimed at low vision students will be, these hours will have a flexible format and allowing them to be taught online with the through the smart devices, but also offline for those schools that doesn't have enough digital resources, or maybe not even the equipment needed. Through this project, it is our hope that future students with low vision will meet a better and integrated and well-adapted virtual school that is meant for all. And by this, I hope you have a good conference further on. Thank you.